Okay, so hi everybody, welcome to Life with Labels. I'm Ananya and I'm super delighted to be in conversation with LaxmiKrishna. So we're hoping to share a couple of valuable insights with you regarding the fashion industry and hopefully you can learn something in the process. So to start out with, I'll just tell you guys a little bit about LynkTown. So imagine the community where creativity, passion, and collaboration is the ultimate fashion trends. That's precisely what we have done here in LynkTown, and it's a thriving hub where designers and brands come together to network, learn, and grow. So LynkTown is going to be your go-to social selling or social commerce platform. And our goal is to empower designers and brands by leveraging the potential of social selling, enabling them to reach out to a broader audience. So whether you're an aspiring designer or an established D2C brand, LynkTown is the place for you. On that note, I would like to introduce you all to a well-known celebrity designer and stylist who has impeccable taste and a great eye for fashion. She has received the Times of India Film Award in 2020 and is the owner of Glittery Me. And we're so grateful that she could join us today for our live session and take us through her extraordinary journey. So hi Lakshmi, how are you doing? Could you please give us
Hi.
some...
There's so many people telling me hi, so I want to tell all of them hi
Sure,
and
sure.
also to the lovely lady. I really like your nose pin.
Thank you so much. Your lipstick looks great today. So could you just start out by telling us a little bit about how you got into fashion? What was your journey initially and
See,
what drew you
I
to it?
basically, that's very interesting to know that many people, aspire to be a designer or in the fashion field. I've seen a lot of these kids who really prepare themselves to get into the field. But for me, the kind of family background I belong, where they're full of professionals, there is not even generations wise who's worked in fashions and always like our South Indian culture is to always keep the children away from the fashion and the films because they find it
Right.
very difficult. So I don't think people can relate to it. So I'm an engineer and I'm an MBA graduate. So fashion to me came in as a surprise element. I never
Okay.
thought that I'll be a designer and you will be interviewing me one day. So, there was this actress Rupa Natraj who was in my Facebook list, and she was doing a movie, and there was so she kind of approached me telling, "Why don't you do a movie with us?"
Okay.
So that's how I got into industry. So I'm very, very grateful because she thought I can do some justice to it. And there was this manager there who also thought that I am, I could do because like he was like, who is this person doing so much? Where did you come from? You're giving your accessories, you're giving your footwear, you're giving your clothes. Who are you? So, which they find it very unusual, with the
Right.
same because people usually don't like to experiment. There were a lot of these
For sure.
people who couldn't take something out of the box because if I do from my label, they're like, no, this is not, this is too bright. This combination won't work. But when Deepika Padukone wears it, they accept it. Oh, this is the fashion I want to do. So it's very difficult to do something out of the box, and that's how I am in the industry.
So you were saying that that's actually a really cool story here because a lot of times you see people who have gone to fashion school specifically, and you were mentioning how you got into it by chance. So was there a part of you that always wanted to get into fashion, or is that you decided to take
No,
the
I
opportunity?
had always admired the DDLJ, the Yash Chopra movies, the larger than life, the beautiful gowns, the beautiful
Right.
churidars where women look. So I used to use my mom's, saris. You don't like it? Okay, I do it because you don't get fabrics here. So you beautiful chiffons. I used
Right.
to converted it into costumes. So I was always attracted. I love clothes. I love colorfulness. I love all these things. So I think it is there in my, some things cannot be given in education. Education just tells you that this is the process, but when it comes
Right.
to the reality, you are in the war field and you have to use your gun to shoot, otherwise you're dead. So these things cannot be thought, but I always admired fashion. I've always, this kind of a girly nature who wants to, do her nails, wants to look best. So I really enjoy because as an engineer HR, it becomes a very monotonous. So when you
For
join a
sure.
company, that's the process, and then after that, what? You are again doing the same old thing. So for me, I like to do different things every day. So this profession can never sleep, like
Yeah,
trends keep
absolutely.
coming, fashion keep coming, films keep coming. So it's a wonderful thing. Like every day is a new lesson. You meet different kind of people. And today I'm known to people is because I'm trying to work with the very noted people. So it comes in with a lot of responsibility as well.
For sure. It's really nice to see designers like you, especially who are so passionate about what they do. And it comes from a place of genuine love for fashion. So, and you started out, as you mentioned, like playing with your mother's clothing, like a DIY queen. So that's really nice to hear. So on that note, what would you say was your most memorable like fashion show or event that you could showcase your designs, or what stood out for you the most in your career so far?
I think the two moments where I really felt that my fashion was like, I mean, could take it to a next level where celebrities wore it with a lot of like one is Urfi Javed, where people were
Yes,
always commenting about her dressing and telling about her dressing sense. I was
of
the
course.
initial person dressing her up, and I think that was the stepping stone of my career in Bollywood, where people were like,
Right.
"Oh, there is one designer who can actually do this, really?" Then she is, she wants to do something out of the box. Because here, when I was doing out of the box, people, put me into certain box, and only those people used to come. But when I started doing the known celebrities, they were like, "Yeah, there's a tagline that, yeah, you can trust her."
Right.
You know, that
Right.
that really takes some time to, get into that
For sure.
process. And the second time is when I did a sari for Modi ji when he was campaigning, and I created these Modi saris and I got an opportunity to sit right in front to see
Wow.
him because
Right.
it really went viral. So these were the two things. And even now, when they were canvassing in Bangalore, there were so many people wearing my saris and saying, "Ma'am, we are wearing your sari." So
Yeah.
when something comes as a creativity, especially in Karnataka or in Bangalore, they always take my name because I'm a kind of a person, I don't believe in doing a certain kind of embroidery blouses and ghagras and say that I am the designer, because there is an
Right.
artistry sitting over there stitching.
Of
There,
course.
I
Yeah.
think if you want to try something out of the box, that's where I belong.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you finally like you were able to emerge the way you exactly wanted, because we do need designers who think out of the box. Otherwise, everybody on the red carpets and films would just end up looking just like any other movie. Everybody would just have the same fashion sense. So we're really thankful actually for designers like you who were willing to push those bounds and finally come out and show who you are through your fashion. So,
Thank you.
in terms of style inspiration for you, like, was there anybody who caught your eye or any designers who influenced you in your initial stages before you figured out this is your calling and this kind of style is what you wanted to go into?
I think with no chance, like every designer would say that Manish Malhotra, he was the one who got the Hindi films, the aspiring. I recently was seeing Madhu, the actress, who was telling that she was in one kind of era where, 2000 rupees make song banalo, this is your budget. And then there was this era where Karan Johar and Sanjay Leela Bansali who showed, fabrics, the costumes in a very gigantic way, larger than life. I think even the long trails and stuff like that.
Right.
So I think Manish Malhotra is like, I don't think there's any designer who can just not admire such kind of people, because he is the pioneer.
Definitely,
Everyone
yeah.
used to do a costume, but he showed the costume can look so beautiful through him.
Of course, yeah. I think almost every one of my friends and me included, we really like stalked Malish Malhotra to no extent, and through that we found such amazing designers like you, because only through designs we can find better designs and more
How
variety of designs as well.
Thank
Now to
you.
kind of get into a lighter note and get to know you a little bit more, we have a small segment we like to call this or that. So I'll be telling two different things, and you can just tell what your preference is personally for your kind of style. So, vintage or contemporary fashion?
I think vintage, because I think contemporary still will have a vintage touch, but I think the vintage really takes a beauty of a woman, you know. It's not like
For sure.
only just you show your body, you can look sexy. Your covered body can also look more beautiful. I think that's what the vintage tells us, you know. And the kind of
Definitely.
colors, the bows, the polka dots, and it just takes the costume to the next level. You don't really need an accessory in a vintage. If you see, most of the vintage, just wearing a pearls or a stone. That's it. But the whole thing is the costume. So
For
that's what I
sure.
really like about vintage.
For sure. It really lets the outfit speak for itself without adding too much clutter to anything else. That
I think
completely makes
there's
sense.
one more stylist, the Bollywood stylist Poonam is really writing so many good things, and she was one of the person who actually made me work with Govinda ji. So I'm really, really glad that she
Oh,
loves my work. Love you, Poonam.
okay. Hi, Poonam. Great to have you on our live session as well. Thank you for joining. Yeah. Okay. Kind of moving on to the next question. Although I think I know your answer for this, bold colors or neutral tones?
I love bold colors. Any
Yeah.
time, because yeah, the neutral tones has its own loves. I would do that, but for me, combinations and playing with colors is what I love. I really love when it comes to blue, green. I have made all the actors try all the different styles out of their box. When they wear my costumes, there's so many. I get these messages from fans telling, "Ma'am, we've never ever thought that our actors could look like this. Thank you so much for showing." So it just keeps happening to me. I love colors.
Yes, and I think your personality really shines through as well. You're such a colorful person. It really comes off as well. So,
Yeah, when I don't wear colors, I look fit.
I'm really channeling the opposite of what you are right now. Right.
That's just the choice.
So, structured handbags or like a slouchy tote?
I am not a handbag person. So
Okay,
I go with the
fair.
second option because I do ask my people to wear it, but I personally do not like anything to hold in my hand. I keep missing it out, and
Completely
I'm very
understand.
clumsy in handling, so I'm not a person.
Totally relatable. Yeah. So, red carpet glamour or casual chic?
Red carpet. Like casuals, you can do anything, any market would get you, but I always red carpet stands out for me.
Got it. As a person, like you were saying, you like playing with color, with patterns. So, if you had to pick between stripes or polka dots, which would you levitate more towards?
Stripes or
Polka dots.
I think polka dots because as a structure wise, you will look more slimmer. The
Okay.
the squares and those things will make you look broader. So any person, because when you are on the screen, you look one size bigger. No matter whatever size you are, you look one size bigger. So these kind of elements on your body will always make you look broader. So these, I think that's what.
I think that really does come from a very celebrity stylist perspective because not everybody understands pattern and how fabrics work like that. So that's a really well observed insight that you could provide for us. So yeah. So in terms of designs, would you prefer like designer collaborations or limited edition collections of sorts?
Uh, I am a limited edition because I make everything single pieces. I'm not a person. They keep telling me, "Ma'am, do you have this in S size, M size, XL size?" And I'm like, I made it in only one size, whatever the celebrity is in. So if you want it, please get it done. So
For sure.
I really love doing things customized. Coming from the scratch. Understand. That's why I'm in the films because I love to understand the character, the backgrounds, the character of each person. Because if a person or a character stays in your mind, it's because that you have given that look as a stylist, as a
Definitely,
designer.
definitely.
It makes a very crucial. I don't know, many people in the industry don't give that importance to designers or stylists. They think it's like, ye lipstick de do, ye costume de do, ek sari de do. It doesn't work out like that. There's a lot
Definitely.
of things where you need to understand the character, the mood, the dialogues, the comfort when you're delivering it. So I think that's where I belong.
Definitely, yes. Yeah. I think adding that personalized thought process or that touch to every character is what can make the character itself iconic at the end of the day in the film. So that's definitely extremely important for films, let alone designers. So moving on, dressing for comfort or statement?
Sorry?
Dressing for comfort or to make a statement?
Of course, making a statement. For me, comfort is when I'm traveling, when I'm doing my personal work, when I'm working. That time the comfort comes. But when you're going on some kind of an event where you don't really see that what comfort, you want to look your best, you want to wear the heels, even though it's paining you so much, but you want to still pose. I'm that kind of a person. But after 1 hour, I want my shoes back.
Yeah, I completely understand the beauty is pain aspect of it. Yeah.
So I'm more like, it depends on the situation, but I would usually go for because I have done a lot of crazy things for the actors where I've given them a lot of these discomfort garments. But when they make a statement and come back, they are like really, it really proved the kind of pain I went through. So I think sometimes it works.
Yeah. The payoff is far bigger than pain. Yeah. So how do you like to consume like your fashion content? Like, are you a very old school fashion magazine kind of person, or do you like looking into blogs and things like that nowadays?
Old school, always want like, I'm not a process person. Like, if I work with this person, I will get something. If I go as a process, then I have to take. I'm a kind of a person who takes challenges, and I'm not old school at all. But personally, the kind of upbringing and all that relatively is old school. But when it comes to fashion, I am more advanced.
Awesome. So when it comes to styling, apart from films, do you like working on like high fashion editorials or like more of red carpet looks?
To be very frank, I'm in fashion industry. I am in ads. I am doing films, and I'm doing this personal photographs. So I've worked everywhere. So each of them I have experience with. So I've done these high fashion folios and high fashion shows in Bangalore, where the things have been appreciated, and also I've done in films. I've done a serials where things I've done films. So it's like I've done everything. I do everything.
Right. That's really cool. Yeah. I think it's really refreshing to see a designer who is so excited about what they do as well after so many years of doing it as well. So
yeah, I think every profession you choose, you need to have that kind of zeal to do something. Otherwise, I when I joined, I was like 2 movies, and then I was like, oh, I finished 75. And then when I came on the newspaper, I came on the magazine, everything was like, wow. So now I'm contented. I'm like, everything is done. So I never thought I will reach Bollywood. Now I think a lot of stars recognize me by wearing it. So I think everything which comes to me, I'm happy. I'm a happy soul.
Now, I just wanted to like ask you a question. Like, how do you stay up to date with like fashion trends and things like that? Do you look at that as something you have to do, or do you just think that that's something you don't even think is necessary in your
I do
process?
a lot of research. Instagram helps me a lot, where you're surfing a lot of international brands. You might be seeing some colors. You're like, oh yeah, why can't I use this? So definitely, a lot of inspiration comes where going out. Suddenly you go to a holiday, you see some nice painting, you can use it on your fabric. So it definitely, something or the other inspires. You can't just like, it came in my mind and I did it. It's rubbish.
So you pick inspiration from everything. Doesn't have to be fashion or anything.
Yeah.
That's really nice. So I thought now we'll kind of dive into a little more deeper questions or slightly more serious questions to understand your perspective of how the fashion industry has grown so far. So you can just let us know about what your thoughts are on these topics. So what's your perspective on gender neutral fashion at the moment and breaking traditional gender stereotypes through fashion?
I think it's just a choice. I don't really have a special opinion on it. I think each person, especially when it comes to fashion, I cannot say that this is the fashion, so you wear it. this is the crop top fashion, so you wear a crop top. Probably some people cannot carry it. So just a big bindi can be a nice fashion for you. You might feel that is your style statement. That does not mean bindi is not in fashion. That's your statement. So it's never a gender neutral to me.
That's awesome to hear. So, what do you think? What are your views on like how nowadays a lot of plus size models are coming in, a lot of petite models are coming in? What are your views on how the Indian industry might not necessarily represent or are still underrepresenting various body types in the industry?
I think we are right now. We are at that stage where each woman is more positive on her body. There's so many things which has happened. Now I don't think there's a plus size industry for it. And they're doing beautiful. And for me, too much skinny is not preferring for me as my costume as well. I want a little bit of curves in a woman to show something. So I don't think it's just your personality which makes you understand what the fashion you're going, what costume you're wearing. Many a times there's two skinny models who would just carry your costume, but they're not owning it.
Right.
They're not really. So it's very important for anyone, no matter what, that you need to own your costume and present it beautifully. And I think. It doesn't matter. End of the day, when you wear it with full confidence, any costume will look beautiful on anyone.
That's great to hear, yeah. And I think, as you mentioned, the attitude that one has while carrying themselves in the outfit matters more. Yeah.
So it's just that whatever I'm wearing, you should be confident with, and I'm looking the best, and I'm the beautiful person you can see. So that kind of attitude can actually bring out a lot of even raddi bhi bahut acha lagega if you own it,
Right. Okay. So how do you balance your need for artistic expression through fashion, but in the same time trying to make it a more wearable and practical designs?
My kind of designs are very wearable. It's not that you cannot walk on the streets with it. But there are a lot of these costumes when you are asking me about high fashion, portfolios. You are on a ramp. So you can really not think about you can wear it on the street. You have to really show them that 10 seconds when you on the ramp, you have to look elaborated, you have to look something. So they are the two different cuts. So when you're doing for a movie, you can't really give those kind of garments, right? So it depends on the scenario, where and what you're working with, So I've done both. So I would love to do something like that for a specific thing, because that really, I was always telling you, right? The monotonous tech work will always get bored. So when you are getting bored, you can show your skills on the red carpet like that.
So what would your ultimate fashion advice be to somebody who constantly finds themselves in a style rut or doesn't know what they want to do with their own fashion sense? What would your advice be?
I think your confidence, happiness on your face. There's certain things which cannot be done by the designer or stylist if you cannot have it. So these things are very important because you need to love what you're wearing. That's the main thing for me. And second thing is, no matter what, it's not from Manish Malhotra or from a normal street. It's just the garment should be, specific for that kind of event. It's not that every time you are overdressed for everything. So somewhere it's gone, So I think for that moment, what's required, if you can design accordingly, I think you will look beautiful.
That's very well put. So just to kind of wrap this segment up, what do you think about the new age or Gen Z designers that are coming up right now and how their take on fashion is?
Yeah. I would love to do that because I feel this industry is a very, difficult to manage. It's like, you're having a white horse at home. It's not like everyone can do it and let's do it, because you put in a lot of investment and a lot of money into it. For one garment, it's not like nowadays you can just do it in 3,000, 2,000. It doesn't work out. So it's a very fancy affair. you know. So my advice to most of the youngsters is stop working on free basis, because the moment you work on free, your value as a brand and your value as a person goes off. So it's okay if you want to get promoted for a while, you please go ahead and get promoted, but after certain time, stop it. It doesn't work out, because when you add a value to your product, that's when there is respect given. That's when
Definitely.
the brand grows. I understand you want to do the all the rest of the people do it when you're young. You want to do it on a different individuals. You can do it. Otherwise, stop doing for free.
I think that's really
Especially the
important
young.
advice as well. Yeah. Because I think a lot of people, with the current way that social media is working, that they do lose a little bit of their identity or self-worth. And that's something that we as LynkTown also are trying to push brands into completely being their authentic self while being in the industry without
You
pushing it.
you can, yeah, definitely, but you cannot survive for long. In case you are looking this as a,
Exactly.
like, even your next generation to do it, then stop it. Then make your own
Exactly.
brand. That's when your work will be recognized. When you give a value to your work.
I think that's really important for a lot of people to hear. That's really nice. So, kind of moving into our final segment of it, this is something we call the rapid fire round. So, I'll just be
Oh,
asking
lovely.
you a couple of questions and you can tell me what comes to your mind immediately. So, must have fashion item in every wardrobe.
Uh, Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Are you good? Are you able to hear me now?
Your voice is very low.
Yeah. Is it okay now? Is it fine?
You had got still for a while.
Okay, okay. Is it okay now? Yeah. So, what was your must-have fashion item in every wardrobe?
I think a good undergarments, it's very
Mm-hmm.
important for anyone to showcase, because I think most of them don't understand what kind of inner garment is required for certain
Mm-hmm.
clothes, and a good pair of footwear, because
Mm-hmm.
many a times they don't understand. Uh,
Mm.
Once the costume and the makeup, everything is perfect, and when I see down, it's gone.
Right.
So I think those are the two things, and of course, a confidence and a smile.
Great. Very well put. Yeah. Favorite fashion trend at the moment?
I love these waistline cuts gowns, which is